Why, hello everyone, and welcome to the stream. This is Otaku Shobo. Today is Tuesday, October 24th, 2023. Hello, and welcome. I don't believe I have Kitty today, not behind me, anyway. Not to the side of me. They're lazy today, a little bit. They're a little bit lazy today. I've also already had all of my coffee. It's all gone before even starting the stream. So it's one of those days today. Ah, goodness. So, updates. I've been a little distracted lately. With the 3D printing stuff related stuff in particular. I needed to get more packing paper. I had bought, as I look over to the stack, package of 5 pounds newsprint quality paper. It's 160 sheets of newsprint paper, blank, to use as packing paper for my plastic items that I ship out. I did this last week. Late last week. The package was supposed to arrive on Sunday, but for the first time ever, I got an email from Amazon saying that there was a problem during shipping. And I went in and looked at the tracking information, and it said that the package was damaged during shipment. On a shipment being sent by Amazon through their Amazon shipping. They said that the thing was damaged and that they're returning to sender, even though they're the ones who were sending the thing in the first place. And that they wouldn't address this for 2 days. They said, "Oh, if it hasn't been delivered by the day after the original day it was supposed to be delivered, which was supposed to be Sunday," they said, "Oh, if it doesn't arrive Monday, by Monday, then come back and next steps will happen. It's like, okay, so you're just going to make me wait for a resolution to this rather than, you know, send a new one. Like, rather than just, you know, send a new one out. Like, come on. So Monday comes. Monday afternoon arrives. I get messages across the board. Every possible way for Amazon to send a notification, they send me a notification saying that the order has been refunded. And that it would take 2 to 4 business days for the refund to go through on the original payment method, which I was like, okay. There's stock of the item. Send me a new one. Why do you have to refund it? Just send me another. I ordered it. I paid what I paid. Send me one. But no. They refunded through a completely automated system rather than doing the right thing. And the kicker, the item that I bought was on sale. And of course, after the refund, by the time that everything has gone through, the item's no longer on sale. At a price that I am not paying for that particular brand of paper. So I went to a different brand. It's actually the same. I ended up buying, again, the same brand that I originally bought. And I paid $1 more. Compared to what I originally had. So because Amazon screwed up, I paid $1 more. Thanks, Amazon. Such wonderful service. They usually have amazing customer service, but not in this instance. They get 0 out of 10 from me. That was not the proper way of handling the situation. I should have been able to get a replacement sent. It should have been counted as an exchange and not a return, because they clearly have the item in stock. They still have the item. Like, they're not out of it. They could send me another. That's on them. That's on them. And they're the ones who should have been paying the difference in the price, depending on when the item was on sale versus not on sale. They should have been paying the extra cost there for that exchange for a mistake that they made during shipping. But no. That is now put onto me for any difference in price, because they took days to process a return. That's fucked up. Anyway, that being said, that was on my mind, top of mind. Yeah, other things. Other things. So, I mean, clearly I'm still going to be shopping on Amazon. Like, that's not going to break the deal for me. I've had very few issues over the extended period of time that I've dealt with Amazon. But, yeah, that wasn't very nice of them. I have something else arriving today that I'll have to be on lookout for. Probably won't arrive during the stream. And that is, I am going to be offering my 3D prints in a new color. Right now I only have black and I have red. Black and red of the 3D prints. I have arriving blue. I will have blue for my 3D prints. I ordered 1 spool of blue, so I can't make a print of everything and update all of my listings to offer the blue yet, but I'll be doing it for the ones that have sold already items, where I can gauge that there is actually interest. So we're talking this item, the Game Boy holder. I currently have this as black and as red. There will be a blue. There will be a blue of that. There will be a blue of the larger general storage tray. This thing. I've shown this thing before, but I'll have this in blue because, you know, PlayStation Blue. I'll have that. This is just a little tray, lets you have your games upright. You could put it like anywhere. It doesn't have to be on a desk. Would you not? Keep falling down. Clearly, I need more of this for what I have behind me. Clearly, I need another. Because stuff keeps falling down, and the whole point is to keep stuff from falling down. You know, more accessible way of having your game cases presented / stored. If you like have that just floating on a desk or on a table, then you don't have to go digging through a pile. You can just grab the one like that you want, like right out of the library. So probably gonna have the display. I've got the little, you can barely see it back here, but there is a Vita back here on a display. Probably gonna print this in blue as well and have that on sale. So yeah, just try to figure out what I want in blue. On top of that, I will remind folks that through my Discord, I have links to various wish lists, and I have been going through adding a few things to my wish lists. I've got some stuff for the kitties on my wish list, but I was adding today a few 3D printed related items onto that list. I added some upgraded parts for my 3D printer that would allow me to actually print faster with my current printer. And I added a couple of printers. One that is the next step up upgrade over my current printer, and then one that is few steps up upgrade to my printer. That would basically have upgrades across the board. It would be bigger build plate, so you can actually print larger things. It prints much faster, etc. Versus the one that is the direct upgrade to what I have, which doesn't let me build bigger, but it is inherently faster. But at this moment in time, I don't need a second printer for the 3D printing stuff. I don't have the sales volume to justify buying it myself yet, especially when there's room to upgrade my current printer to be faster, to print faster and maintain quality. So yeah, that was my morning. So I was going through that sort of stuff and looking, and like, what do I need? What do I need to get if I want to be able to like actually upgrade the setup? And I added a few items for that purpose. But anyway, also reminder that I have a streaming incentive that is going to be perpetual and ongoing, where over the course of a month, if we get a total of $500 of support to the channel through all methods, through any method, combined total 500, I will stream 6 days a week in the following month. That is an incentive that I have. So if you want to make that happen for the month of November, considering this is the last week of October, I should mention what is the progress, just so that we're all aware. What is the progress? What is the projected progress currently? Looking like it's it's around 350 still that we would need to meet that incentive. It's at about 350 right now, remaining. At least. I haven't really done the precise math. I'm not taking into account like after fees. I'm taking into account before like the fees and stuff. So regardless of like if you have provided 500 in total, then that incentive is met regardless of how much of that I actually see, because of YouTube takes its cut, Patreon takes a cut as well, PayPal takes a cut as well, though it's the lowest of everything. And I will include anything provided from the wish list, the value of the items of whatever's sent through the wish list. So, hey, if you get me a 3D printer, we're going to stream every day or 6 days a week next month. As an example. I don't expect it to happen. It's just an example. So, that being said, game. Hi, Factorio. Factorio is here. We've arrived. Last time we met, I'm doing a few things in here. Last time we met, I set up zip your eggs, cytostatics, what else? DNA polymerase, primers, good alien samples, and of course, placed infrastructure for PyScience 2. So I said that in between streams, what I would do is I would finish all the logistics of the PyScience 2 and make sure everything that we had built was online and running, and that's what I've done. Why? Because it's going to take forever to actually get through all the techs, and I do need to actually get through techs in order to, do things like progression during the stream. So that has been my focus. It was to get this moving, which, hey, it's moving. It's made a few things at this point, and yeah, it's looking pretty good. Lacking a bit on the good alien samples currently, but that's as expected, as well as on the Peregrine, which is actually also expected. Yeah, it's lacking the Archods, because of course it's lacking on Archods. Archods are always going to be the thing that will be lacking in the base until probably the end of time, because Archods suck. They always have sucked, and they're going to suck until they get a complete overhaul. Why do they suck? Natural gas. If I had to point at one thing, besides the fact that it takes literally forever to spin up the process, like there are multiple issues, but in terms of what material specifically is involved in this process, that is the limiting factor that destroys the entire concept of having Archods: natural gas. If I could point to one thing that I would remove from this entirely, natural gas. That is where the whole thing breaks down, where it makes it literally impossible to scale Archods beyond a trickle. Is the existence of natural gas. Not even like volume. It's that's only part of it. The volume is part of it. Yes, it's using a lot. But you know, getting natural gas will not ever be free. Especially in PyBlock. It's annoying in a regular Pi game. It is extremely bad with PyBlock specifically. Because the only way to get it at scale is to spend small parts. A significant amount of small parts, which is a significant amount of iron and a significant amount of copper that needs to be devoted specifically to getting into the raw gas for natural gas. And if you look at the totality of the scale of infrastructure needed for it, it is beyond any reasonable expectation. It is beyond anything that anyone should be ever thinking of spending any amount of time doing. It is really bad. It is in a really bad state. There is no excuse for it as it currently exists. There's no excuse for this. Needing so much stuff. This was an okay concept to get materials anywhere of your petrochemicals, but it dies on the small parts problem. And then upgrades to this just use more advanced types of small parts. So it's like, which are more expensive overall. It's like, no. Thanks, but no. It would have been completely reasonable to only cost drilling fluids, but Pi had to add small parts for no good reason and makes it so that it's not viable ever for that purpose. If this didn't need small parts at all, we could have as much natural gas as we wanted at a cost of a lot of infrastructure still, but a lot less than everything needed for the small parts. This alone, minus the small parts, is reasonable and would allow for scaling of archods to be reasonable at all phases of the game. But as it stands, since we don't really get many of these in a PyBlock playthrough specifically, since we can't find many of these, and we're fundamentally limited on the throughput of these and the density of these, we'll have to rely on this. And yeah, it's not happening with small parts. And frankly, this is something that I think must happen in PyBlock. It must be a PyBlock change at minimum to not require small parts at all across any of the recipes that are pump jack related recipes. There is plenty enough complexity added by making them require drilling fluid. That being said, I think that this should also be a change made to the actual Pi suite and just be a thing that happens in general, because yeah, it's too much with the small parts. It's like this, it's either useful or it's never useful, and currently it's never useful. It's squarely in the camp of never use it for the raw gas, crude oil, and the tar process. I think that the volumes of the drilling fluid are okay for the amount of fluid that you get for the demand of the infrastructure costs that you have, I think that this amount of infrastructure is pretty fine for these buildings here and their output. The issue is this. The issue is these guys. These are not, that this pushes it well beyond the edge to be not worth it anymore. Anyway, what have I done between streams besides getting the PyScience 2 moving? Well, I did a bit of scaling. Just a little bit of scaling. Just a smidge here and there. I needed more hot air, so I added more hot air, just a bit. I added 2 more of this. I added this part, so, you know, just a bit more. I went from 150 to 450 per second of the hot air. Reason being is that I didn't have enough as things currently stood, and it was causing problems in other locations, specifically over here at empty petri dishes. This uses the most hot air of anything in the entire base to make empty petri dishes, and I doubled it, and I provided it with on-site quartz ore production. So each of these units makes 15 quartz ore per second. So I have 2 belts of quartz going in to these builds, providing the molten glass for the empty petri dishes. It makes about 3 per second per unit, so we have like 6 plates. Not even half a yellow belt for that infrastructure. And it needs a heck of a lot of hot air, as well as acetylene and wood. We still don't have enough. Oh, it looks like we actually do have enough. Finally, we didn't have enough, but now it seems we do for our current level of production. Barring other bottlenecks, we might not have enough once we solve other bottlenecks, but for now, that is that state of things for the empty petri dishes. Now, I know there is a recipe that does not use hot air. The issue is that the hot air literally doubles your output of the empty petri dishes. It goes from 1 to 2. So even though it is quite a bit of hot air, the hot air, unfortunately, with empty petri dishes is non-negotiable. It needs to happen. That was the biggest thing that I scaled between streams. I'm trying to remember. I did finish off my upgrade that I started going into last stream. I was working on this going into our previous stream, but it's finished now. I have gotten additional iron online, and it's all stacked iron now. And I've transitioned all of my train stations to dealing with stacked iron. Now this in total is making 60 per second, 15 times 4. I was trying to figure out, like, how do I sneak in 1 more of these units so that I could actually have 75, which is a full belt of stacked iron. But I'm leaving it for now as is. It'll be easier when I get further development, like further processing. It'll be easier with better modules, with better mark levels for the Faugi as well. So that's something that we'll wait for later. It's also, you know, if I actually were to use all of it, it's going to use a lot of borax. Like, pretty sure that if this was 75 plates out that it uses 15 borax. And I think right now it's like at 12.5 or something like that. For the unslimed iron, I have that listed as molten iron. Where is molten iron? Molten iron. Oh, there's unslimed. Oh, it's 10.5. Yeah, 10.5. And if this was 75. Oh. It'd be 13.1. Okay, so it's like pretty close to the full red belt. Or the full yellow belt, excuse me, of borax through unslimed processing. Yeah, it's a bit. It's a bit, but right now I have 60 per second. That needs 10.5 borax. And 12.5 wood. Oh boy, would that be... It'd be more than 15 wood. Great! Stacks of wood. That's the key. Stacks of wood. Multiply by 5 for the amount of actual wood that needs. Okay, what else? Is there anything else? I'm trying to remember if I've done anything else. I don't think I built anything, but I do have plans and schemes for things that we can do, that we need to do. Yeah, I think everything else is normal. I haven't really touched anything else. It was really just scaling this, getting the iron scaled online, and getting the Pi 2 online, and waiting for techs, spending a long time waiting for techs to happen. Right now I'm working on, I've actually unlocked advanced small parts, and I've unlocked circuit 2s, but I need to get all the stuff for all of that. I want inserter capacity bonus 2, which gives me the non-stack inserter capacity increase of +1, meaning that all of my mechanical inserters double their throughput, and all of my inserters double their throughput, because they can hold 2 items instead of 1 item. We'll go from 0.6 per mechanical inserter to 1.2, and then from 1.2 to 2.4. It's going to be wonderful and glorious stuffs to have the capacity upgrade. And of course, by having the stack inserter capacity upgrade, that applies to bulk rail loaders and unloaders. So we'll not have as many issues with loading and unloading. It'll be glorious. They'll be able to work faster and load our trains faster. Now, I do have this mod as well, which is the ultra fast inserters. This is primarily for use in the mall. I won't use these generally outside of bot driven bases slash the mall. The mall area will use these just because it's space savings. But these are basically stack inserters that move very fast. Very fast. Very, very fast. They need circuit 2s, and they directly upgrade from standard stack inserters. Yeah, that's about it for them. There is an issue, I think, that I noticed. I'm pretty sure that this is going to count as an issue. A bug with the tech tree. There are... I found another instance where there are techs that are earlier techs that have a requirement for a later tech. For a later tech. So it's Phytomining 2. Phytomining 2 is chem science. Yet, Moondrop Stage 3 is Pi 2. Moondrop Stage 3 is Pi 2 and requires a chemical science technology in the form of Phytomining Stage 2. I would consider this a bug. Just gonna throw that out there. I would absolutely consider this to be a bug. Either this is Pi 2 or it is chem science. And if this is meant to be Pi 2, then phytomining needs to be Pi 2 and not require chem science. Frankly, specifically for PyBlock, I think for PyBlock, at minimum, this should be Pi 2 and not chem science. This would be a good upgrade to have at Pi 2. It unlocks a bit of useful stuff for scaling at Pi 2 to help smooth out the experience. And like, what does it really give you? It gives you tin, copper, salt, iron, and sulfur, as well as lead, aluminium, cobalt extract, and nickel. Oh god, nickel. Yes. Wait. The cobalt's not as good as you think, but the nickel? Yeah, I would say this is mandatory. This is mandatory. This has to be Pi 2. In PyBlock. It has to be. There's no actual good way around this. And frankly, this is only chemical science because someone ordained it to be chemical science. This can happen at Pi 2 very easily. There's nothing at chemical science that this needs. It is simply chem for the sake of it being at chem. So if you take away the chem science and you get rid of the tech requirement of chem science from this, it's fine. Just the way it is. You can do it immediately. You have access to all of the stuff already. To all the creatures and things. So nickel. I don't know if I really discussed nickel and why nickel is bad. Now, the game already has methods of getting nickel from nothing outside of phytomining. The issue is that it's rather expensive. Yeah. There are a couple of ways of getting into nickel, one of which involves bitumen and the other of which involves a lot of tar. A lot of tar. So you could either do this and spend lead to get nickel, lead plates to get nickel. Good luck with that, as well as, you know, how are you getting your bitumen at this phase of the game? This process through archods isn't viable until chemical science. Because you can't upgrade your archod recipes to actually, you know, convert used combs to wax and then wax into empty combs until chemical science for some weird reason. So you would always have to provide all these fresh honeycombs and all that wonderful tailings dust. Yeah. Oh yeah, and don't forget the 60 crude oil per second. The 3 small parts per second for 15 nickel. You're gonna need more than 15. And that's eating lead plates. It fails on the lead plates alone. In the alternative, you have tar and hydrogen. Oh boy. Yeah, so either that or all the other stuff from wood. You know, that sort of a thing. Or, you know, a bit of wood. A little bit of wood. Just a smidge of wood. Yeah. This I could do in, like, at least a full third of a square. Minimum. Maybe. I could do it in half a square. The issue is that you need like that much or more. So it's like you need 5 of it. Right now I'm mining it. I'm just mining nickel. I'm not. No, I refuse to do this. Just for nickel ore. Anyway, today, getting off of that. Oh yeah, and you know, just getting a different way of getting to lead would be, you know, pretty significant because we need so much silver at this tech level. Molly. Oh boy, Molly. Why do we need Molly? We need Molly to get into, ultimately, stainless steel. 25% more for a small amount of stuff. That's fine by me for now. The water. Why is that number greater than 15? Why does that have to be a number that's greater than 15? Oh boy, Really? It's that bad? I don't remember it being that bad. So. Here's the thing. That's a number. How much do we really need? How much do we really need? We need it for... Wait, do we even need it for this? It's not for this, is it? No. The Molly... Oh, wait. The Molly's for the aramid. So... That needs... about that much. I think, yeah, we'll have to set our expectations accordingly. That's reasonable. I'll need more aramid, but for now this will have to be how we do it. We'll also need to have ferrochrome set up. I'll need to provide molten steel, but I've got a build I can just copy paste to provide molten steel on demand. Just add borax. You know, just add borax. See, I got this little unslimed iron build over here. Well, as it turns out, you just add oxygen and coke, and you get steel, molten steel, when you add oxygen and coke. So there you go. There's your molten steel. And it just costs a bit of the borax to make the iron, the molten iron. So I can just copy that whole thing, and we're off to the races. I'm most likely just going to copy, paste next door, and then add a molten steel supply over there. But that can wait a bit. That can wait a bit. Otherwise, I don't really see any reason why the rest of this can't just be in its own factory. Phosphates. I'll do meat for this rock, because we don't need much at this level, and I have enough meat for it, but realistically, it should be done with wood. You know, realistically, the phosphate rocks should be done out of wood. You know, should be done out of wood. Just a bit of wood is good. Yeah. Yeah. Ah, boy. Yeah, that's a problem there that will need a few extra things. Why is that not defaulted to the yellow? Yellow. Yellow. Yellow, yellow. And what sucks is that anything that is defined as accepting both chemical and biomass here in Factory Planner, if it can take both, it defaults to chemical first. I don't know why. I want it to always default to wood, but it doesn't. I have to always manually change it, and I hate it so much. Yes, and provide nickel ore, copper ore. Those are both provided. Actually, I can make this out of meat. Out of meat and guts, but still. Yeah, see, it's like I still have to change this. Terephthal oil. Oh yes, Yotoi. Right. That'll be after Molly. So that's a plan right there. We'll also need Yotoi. We'll need to set up Yotoi, initial Yotoi. And you know, while we're here, we may as well. Because I've unlocked a few just a few new creatures at PyScience 2. Pi 2 really is just a bunch of new creatures to add. There's not too many useful upgrades to stuff at this tech level. It sucks that that's the case, but we just gotta live with it for now. So I need Yotoi, I need the Trits. Those are new. Mukmo is new, so where's the... Or do I have... I don't have that tech yet. Renea is new. Grodd is new. We get bedding at this tech level, I believe. Novins are new, but need circuit 2s. And I don't see Mukmo Codex, so I think it's fine for now. I can unlock it, so I will unlock it. Add it to my list. Right, once I get stainless steel, we'll be able to make Nextlit power poles, and that'll be the end game power pole that I end up using. That's gonna be lovely. Lovely doubly. Of course, I do get access to modules at this tech level. That's the huge thing that we get. The issue is we have to actually get to circuit 2s before we can start making those and start progressing with those. Right, they changed the electric engine units. I haven't played since they did this. They did this after my previous series, I believe. So this is a new recipe by adding rotors and stators. And it's like, oh, we've become satisfactory, huh? So we've become satisfactory now. Great. That is a lot of copper. Are you sure about that, Pi? That looks like it's off by a factor of 10. Rotor is also going to be a bit of a pain in the ass, but that's whatever. Eh. Just eh. Alright, I need to place thingies. Good old botanical nurseries. Let's get this done. So I can go and make Molly. You are going to do this. Over here, you give me the Yotoi one. Put in that request. Yeah, and... Oh, what do the trits use? Weird. What do you need? Oh, the Zippier one, okay. Zippier and cow? Alright, I have those. Oh, interesting. Not using artificial blood for you. I'll need to import good alien samples to actually get initial trits. Trits are gonna be nice. I don't. It's weird that I'm saying that, but at least it feels weird that I'm saying that because, well, I do just happen to need those things, and I need tree seeds. Interesting. All right. Well, alrighty then. You. So trits are lard providers. They give a lot of lard. They're needed for photophores as part of getting into Circuit 2s. Why, hello, I've been joined. I have been joined by Ollie. Hi, Ollie. It's a big boy. There's Ollie. It's a boy. It's a baby. Been joined by baby. Been joined by big kitty. Yes, how's that big kitty? Oh, I know, I know. I know you want attention. Alright. Well, anyway. Molly! I need the things. I got the things. Okay, we'll build the Molly. Do I have 2.25 extra Tufra available? Probably not. But I'm waiting on that. The next thing we're going to do actually is not like the Yotoi stuff. It will be fertilizer. Actually, I need to get into fertilizer. The reason being that a lot of our upgraded plant stuff that we get access to is going to be needing fertilizer. So what upgrades we do get at this tech level will require that. Where am I going to build this? That's a wonderful question. I have a factory here. I'll do it here. Actually, I'll do it across the street because I'm seeing that, unfortunately, I built this right next to a chromium reserve. Yeah, I'm probably going to want to use that. As I've mentioned, my goal is to get as much as I can through the not mining recipes, with the exception that the Megamind nodes are fair game. Because those otherwise still would have been present even in the previous state of PyBlock. And even SeaBlock provides some stuff to the player. Specifically, it provides trees, and it provides the puffer nests. So it's not like there isn't some sort of a precedent for providing some stuff. Come on, place the thing, thank you. We've got an ad coming in within the next 45-ish seconds. Don't worry, you won't miss much. Death to trees. All trees must die. Okay. Okay. We need to import some things, and this isn't the full factory. Because it still needs nitrogen. Yeah. You know, factory planner, if an item that was set as unrestricted no longer needs to be set as unrestricted, just remove it from the list and leave everything else alone. You shouldn't have to prompt me to redo the thing because all of a sudden water isn't a thing that they need to have as unrestricted anymore. That should be pretty seamless. Yet it's not, for some reason. That shouldn't be put on the player to understand. Boogers. I need 3 solids. Cool. Under normal circumstances, if you have productivity, probably not going to do hot air. I don't remember exactly. I know it's like this with the niobium. I don't remember if this is the case with the moly. With niobium, the hot air recipe is not productive, and yet the one that does not use hot air is. And I think that's the case with Neo as well, with moly here as well. It's just a circumstance where hot air recipes are explicitly defined to not be productive, or, you know, they're left off the list of productive stuff for reasons. And that's because most of the hot air stuff is in casting machines, and casting machines aren't productive normally, and etc, etc, etc. So the hot air stuff tends to get left off, even though in a couple of circumstances the base recipes are productive. So it's like, what's going on here? Suffice it to say, the base recipes with productivity, depending on the modules you're using, can be stronger than the hot air recipes. In this playthrough, all the recipes are productive. So we're absolutely gonna hot air. Hello again. Kitty! Big kitty. Yes, big kitty. Come on, let's go back here. Hello, Ollie. Hello, Ollie. Big Ollie. It's a big Ollie. He's here. He wants attention. Mr. Cat wants attention. You're wet. You've got, like, drops of water on you. How'd you get wet? What were you doing? What were you doing getting wet? Getting a little bit wet, Mr. Cat. Huh? Yes, big boy. Oh, it's a big boy. Yes, he wants his pets. He wants pets. He wants his rubbins. He wants his attention. Yes, he wants attention. Oh, so comfy. Comfy kitty. Comfy kitty. Oh, Nuzzles. But I need my keyboard, Mr. Nuzzles. Nuzzle, stop things. You're moving. You are moving. Good. Good. I need stuff. 5 of you, 1 of you, 1 of you. 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 I have my Productive Pyandons mod installed, and I've set it. I believe I did this with Productive Pyandons, but I set it so that the filter could take productivity modules. We need this guy, and we need this guy. We also need all of the nitrogen available. That can be done up here. Cat hath left yet again. Poop. Whoops. Wrong spot. That's the spot. And 1 of you. I need 2.5. Yeah. Yeah, that's a bit more. But it'll overproduce hydrogen. So let's just keep that in mind. It's a slight difference between what I'm actually building and what the plan requires. Alright, so all the infrastructure for the Molly is placed. And as I've mentioned, once we get this done, I have a plan for fertilizer at scale that we're going to work on, so that's going to be a pretty big build that we'll get to today. I know we had a lot of talking at the beginning, but that's generally going to be the case every time we transition into a new level of technology. We need to discuss what's available, what's not available, and what are the steps forward, and what's like general plan. Stainless steel, of course, is a very required item to get into as early as possible these days. We needed to get into advanced small parts, of course, but and it, of course, because of advanced small parts, it's also quite useful for getting into the other stuffs. How very specific of me. The other stuffs. We need it to get into the logistics items, red logistics level, which that will be nice, but unfortunately I think that we won't be able to build at enough of a scale to support red level infrastructure until quite a ways past this. I would not be surprised if we would have to actually wait till chemical science before actually being able to get any amounts of red tier logistics. While it would be nice to have the extra 30 items per second, or to have 30 items per second on belts, it's unfortunately not particularly viable. And it comes down to moly for aramid, for stainless steel. Whoops. Wood. Thanks. I'll need voiding as well to get rid of the sulfur, stone, and gravel. And I might as well have it be up here. Where's the thing? There's the thing. Boop. Boop. There's your voiding. Hold up. Hold up. Ba-ba. Yeah. Yeah, I thought so. Stone. Stack it, send it. Should be one more tile down. Gravel to the right. Stack it. Send that over. Again, 2 tiles down. Add water. And you make fluid. You need the nitrogen. There's your nitrogen. Please enjoy. Realistically speaking, I should probably have the moly separate, but it's simple enough. If I need moly or somewhere, I can make it local. The only relevant locations for that, though, would be upgraded formaldehyde, really. There's one other thing, I think it's with Cermet. Crude Cermet needs moly. So those are the only relevant locations. Okay, void. Actually, send there because you need water. Yeah, I could do it from the side, but I built this to be that. Problem? Problem? Oh. What? Go. Be free. Delete. Send down. Send out. In. Send in. Okay. Power. Everything. Void. Output over. Out. Filter. Filter sulfur. To the right. Stack it. End up picking up all the things. I'm going to need a lot of everything, ultimately, but just thinking within reasonable expectations for this current tech level, it should be fine. By the time it's relevant to need additional production of Cermet, we'll have better ways of doing things. Much, much, much better ways of doing things. And that, as I say, is that. That is our first stuffs. First Molly plates online. Yeah, at the beginning, we're not getting like 1 plate per second. That's not going to happen. We're not going to get 1 circuit per second of the advanced circuits, circuit 2s. That's not happening at this tech level, given the limitations that we have of scale. Need to name these stations. I'm going to start at probably 0.1, and then once I have existent modules, I'll start scaling up from there. Within the limitations of, you know, how many modules I can fit on every step of the chains. Because, you know, at Mark 1, we only have 1 module slot in the thing. So even if we get the level 2 modules, which that's the highest we can go is level 2 modules, that's going to be 10% productivity once to each step in the chain until we unlock Mark 2 buildings and can actually build sufficient Mark 2 buildings. Granted, productivity on everything also means productivity on infrastructure production to make the infrastructure a little bit cheaper. It should help smooth out the transition to Mark II just a bit. But then it'll be 20% per step on the chain for getting into Circuit 2s, and that's when things can really start ramping up considerably. Across everything in the base that's not plants and animals, not life. Because, of course, that is the one set of things that isn't productive. Sure, yes, all the recipes will allow productivity, but not all the buildings do. And all the alien life stuff is not productive. By the way, we do have Molly, which is great. Great to have those plates. So as part of our plans, grand plans, to get into stainless, we need to get into aramid. And in order to get aramid, we need terephthalloyl chloride. In order to get terephthalloyl chloride, or TCl, we need to get into Yotoi aloe fruit. Was it this thing? Was it this? Uh... US. Ah, it's not this. It reminded me that there's a new ban coming into place on a chemical involved in a lot of stuff that's pretty much ubiquitous because it can cause cancer, and it's TCE and not TCL. TCE is what's being banned in the United States. Trichloroethylene. Trichloroethylene. Alright, any oozle. Next up, in order to do Yotoi, let's do a plan for Yotoi. We need the fruit ultimately, but the fruit is also going to need the aloe. Alright, so the fruit, we only have this recipe. Cool. And we need aloe. This is self-contained. It will exist as is, but it does need the aloe. So the aloe, in order to get the aloe, it needs seeds, of course. The seeds need the fruit, of course. So it looks like at this tech level, I don't need to worry about getting into stuff and things. Which is great. I'm very happy that at the moment this does not need fertilizer, but I do want to take a detour to make fertilizer at the start because I have to wait for first Yotoi. Initial Yotoi, I need at least a few as modules. I guess realistically speaking, you only need one, right? To get it moving. But what I need is to bring in good alien samples here. Which will slow down my science a bit, but that is something that we just have to live with, unfortunately. And I have to build the infrastructure, of course. This needs a few buildings. Just a few buildings. I'm going to use this as like general stuff. Yotoi. Yotoi. Go. That's as expected. Actually, it's not as expected. I need to fix this. I think. Oh, no, it's just... yeah. Right. You are the problem. Okay. A problem, anyway. Yeah, we're pretty limited by that inserter. That should help a little bit. But the limitation is small parts. I'm gonna get rid of this. I don't really need that direct insertion anymore. Ollie, get down. He was gonna go after my light. Mr. Cat was gonna go after my light. He's got some energy now. Where you going? Yeah, you're looking at my light, big boy. Hey, biter. You biter. Biter and swatter. You swatting at me. So we're not going to do this because it's going to take a while to get the stuffs. Yeah. So in the meantime, meanwhile, this. Oh boy. Oh boy, this. I'm gonna need some requests to be larger. Where are gasifiers? Gasifier. You. Yeah, put a 1 in front of that. Fluidized bed reactor. Yeah, fine. And then the other one was filters. Filters. Yeah. Yeah, just crank that one too. I do have enough of this infrastructure, but so this is a build. Say hello to fertilizer. This is fertilizer. Fertilizer is cheap. In terms of material cost, but in terms of infrastructure cost, not really. Not so cheap for infrastructure cost. Now, I'll note with this that it will have localized kickalc production on the most advanced kickalc recipe. Do I even have that recipe unlocked yet? No, I do not. Because of course I don't. This is actually more important than that too for a recipe. I sort of can't do this until I get that kickalc. Great. Otherwise I need like 3 times as much stuff for kickalc plantation, or I can import for now because I do have kickalc production. It only needs 10.1. I have 15 technically being put onto trains, so I can bring it in on by train for now so we can set the build up and start getting fertilizer. It's just I'll need to make sure that I have the infrastructure in place to set the recipes once I do get access to those recipes for the kickalc, to the upgraded kickalc recipe. And then once it's doing the localized kickalc to get fertilizer, then I can have the separate build for kickalc that uses fertilizer to make a large amount of kickalc, a net 15, actually net 30 plus. Ads are coming in within the next 45 seconds. As a reminder, as a note, I see the yellow bar. The yellow bar is moving. It's moving. Yeah, seaweed crop 393. Wait, what? Is that more than 50? Oh, it's more than 75. Okay, that makes sense. I'm like, wait a minute. Shouldn't that be 75? No, it's more. It's more than 75. Because it will need more than 75 fertilizer. In order to keep perpetuating itself, it will need more. And that explains all of that. This is probably going to be split. Excuse me? I actually have everything I need, so we can just go and begin. Oh, I'm not in my train. Not in my locomotive. I guess technically this is also a tech level where we get access. Oh. Oh. Oh, that explains a couple of things. Okay. Interesting. Where are you going? Where are you doing? Ollie. Ollie walking across my piano. Yes, Mr. Cat. Where you going? What you doing? What you planning? Making noises. Making noises. That's the whole point. Big noises. What are you doing? What are you doing? That's my alarm. Hey, an alarm to indicate that we are halfway through today's stream. Oh joy, oh bliss. We are halfway, meaning it is time to take a brief break as Mr. Cat has come to join me. It is time for a break. I will wrap up this part of the train station. When I come back, we will be working on getting into a lot of fertilizer because it's going to be needed for upgraded recipes. You gonna jump? You can go up? Fine. I will be back shortly. And I have returned. Welcome back. Currently looking at a normal stream length today. We'll see if that changes at any time between now and the end of the stream. As per usual, we have a stream incentive every stream, where if the total support that comes in during the stream is at $10 or more, we will extend the stream by 1 hour. And I do this once per stream. Because, frankly, in order to do it for more than that, yeah, I need a break, like an extended break, so that I can actually, you know, eat. And YouTube is not a great platform for that. That's one thing Twitch has going for it, just a little bit. It's a bit more manageable to like switch categories to something else, to take a break, to like eat, or to be on a break screen for an extended period of time. That's not really a great thing on YouTube. Yeah, it's just not ideal on YouTube for this. YouTube very much likes to keep things separated by topic. That's one thing I wish they were able to implement on YouTube, would be a general live stream page for each channel, to actually have a dedicated page that you go to that plays the current live stream. But the problem with that is YouTube supports channels streaming multiple streams at the same time on different videos. And there are channels that actually make use of this. I can think of NASA Spaceflight as one of those channels that has multiple live streams going of like 24/7 content. They have cameras pointed at like SpaceX at Starbase, and cameras pointed at NASA, whatever their main places are, and they have ones at a port, looking at for like when the barges come in carrying Falcon 9 rockets that landed onto the barges out at sea. You can see them coming in on occasion. There's lots of different streams that they have going on. It's like, well, then how is it going to handle having a single place that you can go to for upcoming streams, I guess, is how it would have to be. It's just fundamentally different architecture there. Okay, so we need things. We need some fertilizer. In order to get the fertilizer, I'm going to need to bring in blood. I'm also going to need to bring in, ultimately, lamps, of course, and I have to bring in the what? Wood. I have to bring in wood stacks. Temporarily, though, rather than those two, I have to bring in kickalk. So I don't actually need to really put in my request for, well, I think I still need the wood, but I don't need the request for the lamps active yet. I do need the wood, so... and I need that to get into the urea for this. And yes, I'm doing blood into urea. I'm uncertain how much of this blood is actually, like, how much I'm capable of making this in the current base. But still, that's what we're going to have. Until I get easier urea access. Even then, I'll also have to check this, like, the productivity with this. I don't think it ultimately will be good. Because the way that I have things set up, because everything will be productive, every step along a chain will be productive, longer chains will be favored over shorter ones in terms of just of like material cost savings. Because of that, because it's better to have multiple steps eating 10, 20, 30% productivity per step than it is to have just 1 or 2 steps. More steps, the better, ultimately, for cost savings. But we need to get there first, and would like to have all this. So, what are we doing after we beat Pi? I wonder. Omni, maybe. OmniPy. OmniPy is most likely at this point. Alright, how am I gonna organize this? Well, I do need a little build. I need this small little build right here. I need this. I need a copy of this, so yeah, maybe start down here, I think. Right there looks good to me. Now that's only going to make 75 per second, but the way that I'm going to do this build is that I'm going to have separation between the main output part of the build and the part of the build that will cycle back into the localized kick-elk production. So there will be a separate set of the seaweed crop facilities that will exist to feed the separated fertilizer. That, of course, is also going to be, that will be used exclusively for getting the kick-elk. Now, yeah, I know at this point in time I don't have that recipe access yet until I get the tech for it. But that's only a matter of time at this point before I get that tech. So this is gonna take a bit of time, just a little bit. I mean, theoretically, I could have also built the wood locally, but since it's only 1.2 wood stacks, I just decided I may as well just bring it in by train rather than make it locally. If I needed more like 15 per second, or even like 3 per second, then yeah, I would have absolutely made it locally. Of the stacked wood, that is. If I needed like a belt of regular wood, which is about 3 per second of the stacked wood. Yeah, local, definitely a consideration. Which does remind me, this is also the tech level in which we get access to the next level of trains. Oh, that's gonna be fun. That shall be fun. It will be significantly easier this time around because I have added a mod that specifically is designed to make it easier. I have a train upgrader mod. It lets me put down a train station with a couple of chests that will contain the upgraded trains and wagons and fuel for them, and then it will systematically add the station to all of the trains in the base in like sets of three-ish at a time, until eventually everything has been upgraded to that specific type of train. And I won't have to manually go out and do it. Thing is, though, the upgraded wagons are half the size of the standard wagons. So usually I would have 2 wagons in place of the 1, and I don't think that this mod is going to be putting 2 wagons in place of 1, which might be a problem. Or I will just live with having the dinky trains. If you thought they looked weird now, they'll look even weirder later, where they're going to have the same resource density per wagon. It'll be the exact same resource density per wagon, but they'll be smaller in size. It'll mean that the train can accelerate faster, of course, but I don't know if that's actually going to be something that's worth doing, worth upgrading to. Well, yes, speed is nice. Really, I think the main reason for doing the change will be the fact that it will use different fuel types, and they won't have to refuel as often. I would hope. Cough, cough, hack, wheeze. They'll be running off of they'll be running off of acetylene canisters, because the new trains will run off of gas cans. And yes, I will have to deal with the fact that they will be producing a spent fuel result. But we'll see. Actually, aren't gas cans 10 megajoules each? They're 10 megajoules each, right? And the stack size is what? I'm probably not going to be able to see it unless I have one in my inventory. I do. Stack size is 20. Which is identical to the wood stacks. So unless they have more stacks than the regular trains, then they'll actually have to refuel at the exact same rate, which is a little frustrating. Just a little. Well, we're getting closer to being done with all this seaweed. Of course, I'm doing this seaweed local just because that's too much for the trains to move this distance. I have this identical build already provided onto the train network. It's just I would have needed to double it there, and then on trains all devoted to coming to here. Now that makes no sense. Just do it here. Just do it local. Now, Oh god, I completely forgot about that. We did Molly today. We've made the Molly today, yeah? That means I can totally build Mark II seaweed now. I can totally upgrade my seaweed to Mark II at this moment in time because we have access to molybdenum trioxide. Ah, boogers. Yep. Yep, that just occurred to me. We could cut this build in half, approximately, by upgrading to Mark II infrastructure, or Mark II modules, seaweed modules. Pretty sure it's doubling from Mark 1 to Mark 2, so... Yeah, that's a thing. That's a thing. It exists. It exists. Yeah. 5 moly trioxide per seaweed Mark II will take forever. Oh, it also needs fertilizer, so there goes that out the window. We need to do this before we can do that. And then we can cut this in half. Eventually. Probably would want a dedicated moly trioxide, though. If I have the 2 for to support it, which I don't. Because I'm doing this. So I can get this. Which needs fertilizer. Ah. You know, order to things. There is an order. I still think phytomining should have been available at this tech level. Phytomining 2 should be Pi 2 and not Chem Science. And it's awfully suspicious that that Moondrop 3 unlocks after phytomining 2, but is itself a Pi 2 science requirement. So it is Pi 2, but it has a prerequisite that is chemical science, which, you know, the devs, King Arthur, like, they went for ages and ages and ages. They spent so much time on a tech tree overhaul to prevent this very issue, to try to prevent this very thing, to remove as much of that as they possibly could, and it's still there. We've still got that. It's still an issue. Not solved. So something's up. Something's up. And if King had wanted the recipe to get fuel oil, don't put words in my mouth. That is not what I said at all. That is very specifically, I did not say that. Nor did I even remotely insinuate that. No, what I said was factual and is factual. They spent a very long time working on the tech tree to remove issues of techs requiring other techs that were higher level tech. And that's an example. Right here. Moondrop 3. This is an example of PyScience 2 being blocked by a Chem Science tech that was the whole point of them reviewing the tech tree. The whole point of going over the tech tree was to remove stuff like that, and they missed that, clearly. Something happened. And that's the point I'm making. Anyway. Next, I'm going to do what? Alright, well this is 375, yeah? So 393 minus 375, I need another 18. Of course. Grab the 18 from you. Ads are coming in within the next 50 seconds. This is gonna have extra pipe, but whatever. I'll try to remove as much as I can. Alright, this seaweed is meant to go into the specific set of FP reactors that'll be making the 3.6 fertilizer for the Kickalk, and that should be where I start things here at the bottom. So I'm going to place these 11. This needs to go this way. I should redo the whole belt setup there. This is a little bit, just a bit inefficient, but whatever. It's fine. We'll manage. Okay, I need clay. I need steam for clay. I need 2 of my steam. 2 of steam. They really need to fix the art with that, but whatever. These make like 1 each, right? 0.75. Still greater than 0.6. And it matters. Won't matter soonish. Couple more techs, it won't matter. The numbers will change. Right here. The numbers will change right here. The mechanical inserters will then be able to move 1.2 rather than 0.6, and the inserters will be able to move 2.4 rather than 1.2. Approximately. Like there's a little slop of inefficiency to make it a little bit less than that, but that's what we'll be living with. Let's see, we need... Oh, I didn't do the ash, did I? Oh, it's up here, right? Right, yes. Yes, I did do the ash, it's just... It's from Kickalk! Of course it is. Stretch! Stretchies! Oh, stretchies. Well, that's great. Okay. Hi. That would be... That would be my foot catching on the cord for the webcam. Okay. Sand. Let's see, this is 5. And that is enough. It's a bit more than 11. But that's okay. I'm trying to decide if the Kickalk should be the very next thing, or if it should be the fertilizer infrastructure and then the Kickalk. I think I'm gonna do the Kickalk as the next thing. Oh, I didn't check this. Right. Do you unlock? No. Okay, thank God. Some of the upgrades at this tech level unlock upgrades. Some of the next rank techs of plants unlock the turd upgrades. Like Chufra will. It'll take forever to get the tech, but whatever is fine. It's fine. We're fine. We're good. We're really good. And Sap gets an upgrade as well. Oh boy. Yo. Upgrades. All. How has Sap changed? Looks like Sap has changed. since the last time we met. Let's see here. So we get a recipe that takes in 60 sap, tall oil, and water, and makes a lot of ash, and tar and black liquor, and a bunch of steam to cycle back into the water. But now all the things need centrifuges. It's nice to have another source of black liquor, but it's trace amounts and it's not worth it. The issue is that tall oil is way too expensive to be worth it. Option 2, stack filter inserter plus Bodo plus tailings in sap extractor equals nanocrystalline cellulose with a pretty good chance of getting your filter inserter back. That is an option. It's 30 tailings as well, just to keep that in mind. Which is 30 tar. 1.5 nanocrystalline cellulose for that. It's a lot of complexity to constantly provide stack filter inserters. Versus take sap tree and throw it into wood processing unit to get sap seeds, and biomass. And at later versions, also fertilizer. This changes sap completely. Interesting. Tufra, yeah, generally gonna think that changing the ratio of the seeds is probably better. Great, so you can add fungicide to get +1 per cycle. Yeah, it speeds it up a bit, but nah, I'll probably take option 1 there. Yes, game, I know I don't have that recipe yet. What I do need to do is I need to set up 113 of these buildings. Why does it always have to be like like weird numbers? 114. Three, 19. 6 rows of 19. Or 3 rows of 38. Can't really do the 38. So we'll do 6 of 19. I hope that that is the actual arrangement of the doohickeys. I hope that the pipes are arranged like this and that it's not with one off to the side. Because then I'd have to rebuild the whole damn thing. And that would not be pleasant. Unfortunately, I won't know which side is which until I get the recipes, so... And that will take a long time, because I'm going to get the inserter upgrades first. That's non-negotiable. I need them for the mall infrastructure in particular. It will vastly speed up production. Okay. Four belts of input and a belt of output. Yeah, that sucks. Not gonna lie. That sucks. Probably don't need to have that many inserters. I really don't. And with this arrangement, every single one of these is going to be its own individual unit. We're not going to share any belt between lines. Have we made Yotoi yet? Probably would have popped up as a thingy, right? That would help. We still need the good alien samples delivered, I think. We do have the allo samples, DNA samples coming in. Yeah. Just waiting on that. Power. Power to the everything. That times 6. Really? I didn't initially copy all of the belt. Yeah, so get rid of that. Get rid of all that. How am I going to fit 16 of those, 8 of those, 110 of those, 83 of those, and 40 of those in that much space? The answer is I'm not. I'm going to have to use this, and all of this, and probably this too. Ugh. Erg, arg. Oh well. Oh, I have a good idea, maybe. I would have to stop building right now. If I took this whole thing and I rotated it this... If I took this whole thing and I rotated it this way, or shoved it down here. If I shove it down here, well then I free up more space up above. Yeah. That's what I shall do. We're going to move you. We're going to move you down here. And this isn't even all the infrastructure. We still need to do the logistics stuff on all this, but it's sort of pointless for the moment since we don't actually have all the, like, the recipe. Let's just run down the line, get everything done. Get the things placed so I have a good idea of how much space this is all going to take. Oh, I'm out of mechanical inserters. That's a great thing to be out of. Oh well. Probably gonna run out of belt too. How much belt is this? Oh yeah, more than I have on me. Lovely. Okay, the next step is what? I need to get compost machines. 8 of them placed. Of which one of them is for this specifically, followed by 110 gasifiers. I mean, that's probably the plan. Ish. Maybe. And then they all go into things. Oh. Goodness. Gracious. Great balls of fire. It will be easier. It will be significantly easier to just have 1-to-1 ratio with this. This will have to be edited clearly because we're going to have some throughput issues there. There's no good logistics method for all that. So I just have to remember, oh hey, this will multiply times 8. Or 7 more of it. I'm going to finish walking this row just to clear out my pickups here. Since I do not have enough mechanical inserters anyway. Then we're going to go over here. Now I'm going to figure out how I'm going to arrange this. So it's 5 each. Oh boy, and each one of these. What's the actual recipe data? Why don't you tell me, like, why is there no way for me to get the information about the recipe data? Like, just tell me what's the recipe? Why do I have to go here to see that it's 4 into 280? And the timing as well. I need to know the timing. 4 into 280 every 3. Great. Great. Divide by 3. Oh, you know, just a wonderful value that's 23 and a third. This is just a wonderful 23.3. I'm sorry, what? Oh, per unit, right, and it's 4 units. It's 93 and a third. Ah, great. All right, so I have to deal with 80, which is, as it just so happens, a number that is greater than 5 stacked items. Got ads coming in within the next 30 seconds. This one doesn't need to be stacked from the start. That doesn't properly balance, does it? I'm not going to put a 5-to-1 belt balancer there. That is a 5-to-1 belt balancer. Congrats. Now, I have to figure the freaking hell out what all this is going to produce. So we've got 1,200 flue gas in a total meaning it will make 24. Yay. It'll make 24 split 16 ways. 1.5 each. Meaning we have 10. There we go. Great. I will trim this after I copy it to use for the other segments. I will I need biomass as well as ash. Oof. Regardless, I still think that 1 is fine to use for the kick-out plantations, but I think I still need the 8 for the other stuff. More likely than not. Yeah, and I built it, as I had said, these can produce 93 1/3 each. And if we're using 80, that means we've got pretty much close to a belt extra out of this individual unit per item. So the thing is, it needs 157. Interesting. So should I plan this to use the full 90? 93? Or at least 90. 90, yeah? That would be adding 2 more. And it would be making 27 ash each. And then I could do 6 of them for the dedicated second half. Because I only need 157 for the second half. So 157 over 27, that's 5.8 versus 24. Which would need 7 rather than 6. See, or yeah, 7 rather than 6. So it saves 1 line. But I would still need like dedicated compost for making biomass as well. And keep in mind this first unit I will be making modifications to, so it makes the ash and the biomass and provides it down, and then the rest is separate. Still, 2 more. Meaning it does not need to be stacked because it is 3 here. Still doesn't need to come in stacked. And still makes less than 30. Okay, copy that to have it to hold on to. I need 6 of it. That was offsetting each time. Really? Like, could I just do the thing? Straight. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then this bottom one I will edit so that it produces only like the 8, 7.2. If it's 1.5, I need 5. So everything after 5 gets deleted. Does not need to be stacked. And is a number that's less than 7.5, so I can actually combine these 2 belts between the ash and the biomass to feed the Kickalk recipe below. And that needs to be brought to all the things down there. That is that for this part, and then I need to provide the biomass, 157 biomass, which that's 2 more compost plants, which gives me 8, yes, for the dedicated fluidized bed reactor build, making the fertilizer in the end. Which again is going to have split, is going to be split between what I need for the Kickalk and what ends up producing the stuff. Oh, dang, I didn't plan that either. Great. This is going to be a lot more complex than I thought or had planned. Right. I don't have sheds. I don't have sheds. Let's request some sheds. next time we restock. Yeah, I forgot what that I do need more for the 37 fertilizer. Yeah, about that. Or the 3.638 fertilizer here. So it's like I need the ash and the biomass and the fertilizer with the ash and the biomass that's needed for the fertilizer. Wonderful. So I need to add the ash and biomass specifically for 3.6 fertilizer, which the only way we're going to find that number out is by having this placed. Okay, 3.6 is 2 to 1, 2 to 1 on those, so I need to add another 7.2-ish to each thing. Okay, so that's just a... that is a splitter here for this, and it's a splitter here for this, because in total it's still going to be less than 15, but it does mean that I need to add another 7.276 divided by 1.5. That's 5 more of these. And that's still less than 75, so that's fine. And essentially the kickoff that is produced out of here will preferentially go input to this first one, which is going to make the ash and biomass that will feed it, as well as preferentially make the fertilizer that will feed it through the 2 fertilizers, 2 FP reactors that I need here for fertilizer that will feed it. And they're going to be here. These are going to be here. Now up over yonder, well, that's going to be a bit differently placed. Because, of course, these were built for a different purpose. I still will need another 2 compost plants for compost. Yeah, there's no chance I'm finishing this today with the remaining time that we have in the stream. And I can already tell that my own brain is starting to, like, clock out on this. Oh, goodness. This is so much. But hey, we won't have to think about fertilizer for a very long time. I am out of nanobot ammo. That's how much I've been doing here in this build. That I've used up all of my ammo. Great, now I'm forced to restock. Just to keep in mind that, yes, I do need 2 of those set up for biomass production. And away we go. And I need the atomizers atomizing to get urea still. But we are close to having the infrastructure placed. Yeah, I think at this point, it's just going to be the atomizers atomizing, and the 40 and the total fluidized bed reactors for 75 per second. And that's it. We're done at that point. Then it's just logistics work, getting Kickalk made and provided. So not too bad. It does use the whole square though. And once it's built and once I say it's moving and it's actually giving me the throughput that I want out of it, then this is a build that could be copy pasted. The only issue is that it does use 157 blood, 157.3 blood each. And yeah, let's just say I probably need more blood. Fortunately, Augs produce a lot of blood. Yeah, I have 375 currently. Out of only 3.75 Augs, so I have room to work with Augs, and there is an upgrade path for Augs. There is a, we'll get access to stage 2 Augs shortly, actually. I already have, like, the food recipe for Augs, but looks like we'll be unlocking the, next step. We need to get it. We need energy drinks. Great. Ah, yes, because the energy drinks will be needed to do the upgrades. But they need milk to upgrade, and that's a slight issue to make the upgraded modules. Really? I mean, yes, betting, but where's... Why do you give us quality food and then only use it over here? Great. There's like AUG 1A. Yeah, we have like basic AUG food available, and we'll be getting an upgraded recipe pair that will use bedding. And that means I'll have to have Grodd set up for bedding, and ideally... I don't think I get this the upgraded bedding recipe for a little while. There will be a formic acid recipe at Grodd Stage 2. Initially, though, I will need Yotoi and Grodd set up to get into bedding, initial bedding. How my bots doing? You gonna bring me all the things? I happen to need a few things, including about 10,000 units of belt. Thanks. Wow, they've been building these. They've been placing all these assembling machines. I put down to get all the assembling machines. I did this number down here was over 400 when I started. Now we're down to 135 remaining. So oh, that's a thing that I didn't mention. I just remembered. Of the things that I scaled between streams, I've scaled Iron Nexlet Antimony Special Alloy. I added 2 additional lines, so we went from 1 per second to 3 per second. And I made the train hold 2 stacks at a time instead of 1. So now it moves 200 per second of stuff. And it still isn't delivering fast enough. Wonderful. I will need to have it store more at a time. Or at a second train. Still though, as it turns out, after all the scaling that I've done recently, I can actually support this extra production of 3 per second on the special alloy. Now, I'm pretty sure that theoretically, if everything was operating at 100% capacity, that I would need more than 3 of this, but it's better for now and I did need more. It was bottlenecking. Now it's not quite as bottlenecking. All the stuffs. Yeah, that's just one of the more annoying of the things. And even at 3, it's like still using 3 of my 5 Naxalit plates and 3 of my 4 antimony oxide. And I have looked at antimony oxide as well. The upgrade. We have access to upgraded antimony, but there's a small problem. If I want to upgrade the antimony oxide, there's an ever so slight issue here, a few issues, but there's one that's a little bit of a problem, and that's the silver. In order to get 4 antimony oxide in the current process of antimony processing, I would need a few things. I need to have Yotoi. One. Maybe not that recipe though. For Yotoi from it. Maybe the other one. Yeah. What? What? Oxygen's no byproduct. Why? Water. There you go. Yeah, there's also this thing called hydrogen peroxide, and that's going to need this thing known as anthraquinone, and that's going to need vanadium. It's a slight issues here. Why do I need another? Why do I need to define another? I don't need to. What are you talking about? Oh, that. Carbon dioxide. Great. All this should be seamless. I shouldn't have to define things like that. Boogers. It's all boogers. So 1.1 silver, huh? To get 4 antimony oxide? You know, that's just about what the one belt of the ore would produce. Keep in mind that I have a few of these, at least 3 full belts of throughput of antimony. So, if you were to multiply this by 3 to get actual, like, real good antimony output, and we're ignoring, of course, the fact that I do need antimony pulp 2 as part of the circuit 2s chain. Circuit 2s need antimony pulp 2. But once I get those circuit 2s, do you see how many steps this is? Now imagine 10% productivity applied to each one of these steps. That will help. It will help a little bit at reducing the costs. But 1.1 silver. It's not happening. It's, yeah. So as it turns out, getting silver from soot is actually better than trying to produce the silver out of lead. I thought it was the opposite of that, but, not if done in this way. Not if done in this particular method. Certainly this is better if you are comparing against the ash from fiber recipes, but comparing to the ash flue gas biomass kickalk process rather than the ash from fiber from kickalk process, yeah, if you're doing biomass based ash, the biomass based ash wins when making soot over this. You can see that this would end up being 11.6 fertilizer, 2.3 lamps versus 1.1 and 5.9 for the same output of silver. It's still unacceptably huge amounts of infrastructure just to get a plate of silver. And this does not improve until chemical science. Our last ad for the day is coming up within the next minute. This does not improve until chemical science. This has been a problem with Pi forever. This has never been acceptable. Specifically, this ratio, lead dust into silver, has never been acceptable. There's no reason why it takes 52.5 lead ore to make a single silver plate, especially when the next process that you unlock increases the output literally like tenfold. At Blue Science, you lead is a little bit weird because it has a split on it that doesn't really come back. Oh. It goes into solution stage 1. Okay, the lead dust goes into solution stage 1, so yeah, there is a split between pulp and dust where where is it? So from lead dust, where is the lead dust? Lead dust goes into refined lead dust stage 1 and silver lead zinc pulp stage 1. It splits here. Now, you have a route of casting the stage 3 dust, or you have a route, well, the stage 3 dust goes into like a molten silver that you can cast the molten silver, but you could also hold off and wait for pulp, or wait for solution stage 1, which takes in the refined lead dust to make the solution stage 1, and there's the silver lead zinc pulp, which makes the solution stage 1. The problem there is that casting for the silver would require you to have fuel rods. For this one, this requires fuel rods for your solution. So you're either molten from dust, stage 3, or you combine the lead dust stage 3 plus the other path into this, which gives you the most, should be giving you the most silver per ore, but it also costs fuel rods. It also is a huge upgrade over the previous step, a massive upgrade over the previous step. And that, on that note, as I am restocking here, we've reached the end of the stream. I'm sorry to say. We have reached the end of the stream. We have not extended the stream by an hour today. It would appear. It would appear. So, what did we get done today? We got moly today. We got molybdenum plates today. That's what we did. We got some moly. I don't know why this died on me. Oh, right. It died because I be dummy. I can't stack that, apparently. No, stop. Cease and desist. I'll fix that later. But we did get moly, and we have worked towards getting fertilizer online. I will finish this fertilizer build between streams. While I understand that it's technically something new, we have discussed it already, and it's just a matter of building the thing, and it's so massive that it's like, please finish this off screen. It's going to take me a long time to actually wrap this up to have access to fertilizer. Now, I only did this as a side note just because I need to wait for first Yotoi, which is waiting on good alien samples being delivered to the mall, which is going to take a bit of time. Apparently didn't happen today. Oh well. Then we'll have Yotoi, and we can set up the Yotoi, and we need the Yotoi to do TCL. We need TCL to do ultimately the pyramid for getting into stainless steel. We are on the way to get into stainless steel, and I need Yotoi next. And when I get that, we can work on getting into stainless steel. And once I have stainless steel, we can keep progressing, move on towards both advanced small parts, and we can actually begin work towards circuit 2s, and it'll be great. With that, I would like to thank you all for watching. This has been Otaku Show, but if you've enjoyed today's stream, please be sure to do all of the social and engagement stuff down below the video. Leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe if you've not yet subscribed, hit the notification bell. Consider becoming a member of the channel by hitting the great big blue join button and supporting on Patreon at patreon.com/otakushowit if you are so inclined and able. I will be back with more on Thursday. I hope to see you all then.